everyone talking about the top 5 best chocolate or cocoa, cacao fragrances. And I have tried a lot at this point, and I would always had trouble with finding ones where it would be like either they smell, for my taste, too bitter, too patchouli-ish, too much like a 99% cacao dark chocolate bar that doesn't even smell at all like kind of sweet or desserty, or on the other hand, just too gourmandy for what I'm looking for, like very sweet and almost cheap cloying and stuff like that. But these 5 to me smell like a delicious combination that kind of runs the gamut from the more thick side of it to the sweeter ones and kind of everything in between. And I just really love everything on this list. So first up, Anti Blues by Pierre Guillaume. The notes in this one are dark chocolate, saffron, grapefruit, incense, resin, amyris, cacao wood, hay, tobacco, vetiver, leather, and vanilla. Ugh, this is so good. So this list isn't in order, but this is my number one. And as mentioned, most chocolate fragrances for me go in the direction of either being too bitter or like too sweet, and this does not go in either of those directions at all. It's like suave, really well blended combination of chocolate that you can notice, but it's not just like sweet chocolate candy or something. Really smooth leather, a little freshness, smokiness, and tobacco. Unfortunately, on my skin, the tobacco really gets amplified in a way that I don't like. But if it smelled as good on my skin as it does for some people or as it does on the test strip, this really might be full bottle worthy for me because I just love it so much. Unisex, leaning slightly masculine, moderate to good projection, and that one goes for $175 for a 50 milliliter. Next up, Seattle Chocolate by Olympic Orchids. The notes in this are dark cacao, black bourbon vanilla, sweet poplar bud, evergreen wood, oakmoss, gourmand musk, silver fir, and fir balsam. So good. Deeply resinous amber, almost like ambergris-like, with the way that ambergris is in Orca by House of Matriarch, if anyone's tried that, with coniferous trees and rich chocolate that's like subtle and well blended, but still there. Really just excellent. And I think if you like super resinous amber, absolutely a must try. The chocolate is present, as mentioned. It's in the title, but it's also kind of a supporting star in a way here. Is like you don't have to be looking for a gourmand style chocolate or anything for this to be something that you might like. Moderate to good longevity and projection, and $120 for a 100 milliliter bottle for that one. Next up, we've got one that's more in the like delicious chocolate side. Lait, Chocolat by Chabaud Maison de Parfum. The notes in this are jasmine, chocolate, cedar, teakwood, vanilla, musk, and milk. This is just mouth-wateringly delicious, and this smells like intoxicating and vivid in like a fresh chocolate fudge brownies actively being baked in the oven type of way, or just like standing in the middle of a chocolate factory or something where it's like rich and sweet, but it's a good combination of those, not syrupy type of sweet so much, and also not like so dense or rich that it takes away the chocolate fun. I don't really like to wear gourmands that are like so, this is a gourmand, like really detectable gourmand status type of fragrances. So it's not really something I would wear, but I'd love to smell it on someone else. Wouldn't mind just keeping a decant around to just smell it, period. That one's unisex, leaning feminine, moderate longevity and projection, and I think $120 for 100 milliliter for that one too. Next up, Sorriso by Profumum Roma. Notes are bitter chocolate, bitter orange, and exotic woods. This is kind of soft vanilla-y cocoa powder. I personally don't find the chocolate that bitter here, even though it's described as bitter chocolate, both in kind of notes lists and also the product page type of stuff too. So some people, this is one that can really get a very bitter chocolate from this. Other people barely really get much chocolate, and it's more vanilla-y. This is definitely gourmandy, but in a very elegant way, so it's not like a very super youthful, sugary, over-the-top type of gourmand like you might think with those notes. And the woods here are like lightly toasted. The bitter citrus does not get too astringent and just kind of like goes well with rounding out edges and nuance for the other notes. I love the smell. When this is another one where I tested it on skin, it didn't work for my skin. It just kind of became too like kind of a vanilla-y powder sort of with like a mild chocolate, but I love it on the test strip. I love it on the skin of people who it does work better with theirs, and I really like the scent overall. Pretty unisex overall for that. Great longevity, good projection, and goes for $285 for 100 milliliter. And last up, Chocolat Noir by Alkemia. This, I love it. Super rich chocolate. This is like supposed to, it's sold, I basically believe that they say like for layering. You could still wear it by itself, but also like to add either They say I think it can make things sweeter or darker at the same time, sort of depending on what you use it with. And even just smelling it by itself, I love it. Super rich chocolate, perfect balance between sweet and dark. And I would say unisex as long as you like chocolate as a note. Like it's definitely very chocolatey, and I don't want to say candy-ish necessarily because that makes it sound inherently sort of babyish or like too sugary, but it's full on chocolate, chocolate, and chocolate. Low to moderate longevity for that one, I would say. And yeah, I'd love to try that one more as a layering note. I have not tried it much as that, but I love the smell of it in and of itself. And that's for someone who's just looking for like, yeah, pure chocolate. So yeah, if you have a favorite chocolate fragrance, let me know.